Good morning, students. So, in continuation with the previous topic, so we will come to the concluding part of diversity in the living world, that is taxonomic aids. What is meant by an aid? Aid is something that is adding to the usefulness. Like we had studied how to identify a living organism, how to classify it, how to name it. So all this is being done in taxonomy. But ultimately, what is it useful for, and how the information is being preserved or stored for further purpose? So that is what we are going to study in the taxonomic aids. So the taxonomic aids helps in the study of forestry, agriculture, industry, bioresources and their diversities. Right? So for all these purposes, taxonomic aids are useful. So let us go in detail and find out what these taxonomic aids are. So the different taxonomic aids are herbariums, botanical gardens, museums, zoos, floras, manuals, monographs, finally catalogs. Right. So, in order to store the information for all this, so what is initially being done? A particular specimen is being collected, cultivated. If it is a plant, it is cultivated, and then it is stored, it is preserved, it is dried, stored, preserved, and then the information about it is being stored and collected and stored. Right? So first one, let us see about the herbariums. Herbariums. So, first of all, coming to the herbarium. What is being done in a herbarium, or what is herbarium? Herbarium is a small sheet of paper on which a dried specimen of a plant or a twig is being glued to it. That means it is stuck to it. So, initially what is being done, the twig of a plant with its floral characters and all, it is being taken and it is pressed, dried, and then the information is stored. So what type of information is stored in this? They maintain the date, the place of collection, the collector, that means the person who has collected it, and the detailed information of all this plant twig is being maintained. That means when it was collected, in which place it was collected, in which geographical area it was being collected, the person who had collected it, and the detailed information. What is meant by this detailed information? We already studied. If we need to classify a living organism, we start right from the kingdom up to the species. Isn't it? You remember? So class, species, genus, family, like that. Still it proceeds up to the level of the kingdom. The different taxonomic categories. Right? So we had seen already different examples pertaining to it. Right? So in this herbarium, first it is Luca Guinea. He was the person who had first invented the herbarium in the 16th century. He is a professor of medicine and botany. He belongs to the University of Pisa. Right? So because of these herbariums, some ecological information, evolutionary relationships and all can be studied regarding a plant. So this is what is known as a herbarium. So in detail, what is meant by a herbarium? So a herbarium is a sheet of paper on which the dried specimen of a plant is being glued to it, and the detailed information about it is maintained on the paper for future use. Is that clear? So that is about the herbarium. Next, coming to the botanical gardens. What are these botanical gardens? What is the major difference between a herbarium and a botanical garden? In a herbarium, dried specimen of a plant is maintained for future use, for future information. But whereas in the botanical gardens, different varieties of plants which are known and which are unknown are being taken here. They are grown or cultivated with their information, and it not only serves for an interesting purpose but also for learning also. That means when you see here in the botanical gardens, many live plants are being kept here and they are grown here for the learning purpose, and their detailed information is also being maintained here in the botanical gardens. So the largest is Royal Botanical Garden, which is there in England. It is also called as World Heritage Site. Because it maintains about 70 lakh species of specimens. So the Royal Botanical Garden, Kew, which is there in England, whereas in India it is Indian Botanical Garden, so these two are there in India, Indian Botanical Garden and National Botanical Research Institute. These are the two ones maintained in India. So botanical gardens maintain the live specimens, okay, whereas the herbariums maintain the dry specimens. Next, coming to the museums. What are meant by museums? Museums are the ones which maintain both the plant specimens and animal specimens in a displayed manner. Like we come across so many museums in schools, colleges and different places, right? Whereas here the insects, they are maintained in an insect box, whereas the birds and mammals, they are stuffed with some material and then they are maintained, okay? Like that, so many different ways. Like for example, the snakes and all, they are maintained in formalins in jars and all, so that we can see them. So these are what are called as museums, which are useful for ecological purpose, for speciation and to know the distribution of animals. Okay, so for these purposes the museums are maintained, right? Next, coming to zoos. So I think we all must have visited a zoo once or the other, once in a while or the other, right? So in India there are approximately 53 zoos in India. Okay, So different zoological parks where here the animals, they are maintained in their natural habitat, and then we closely monitor them with their habit and behavior, right? And we allow them to breed naturally in their natural habitats. So many zoological parks, as I mentioned here, there are 53 zoos in India, out of which Arignagar Anna Zoological Park. This is the largest one, which is there in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, which lodges about 2,553 species. Okay. Next one, Zoo of Alikore, Kolkata. This is the oldest one. Okay. And the second largest is Nandan Kanan Zoological Park. The zoos are the places where the animals are allowed to breed naturally in their natural habitats, and we can closely monitor their habit and behavior. Next, coming to the floras. So what are meant by floras? Floras means the detailed information about the plants are being maintained here with their names. That means along with their nomenclature, the different plant specimens are maintained here. Whereas coming to the manuals, the names of the different plant species are being maintained here. Coming to the monographs, any one information about any one taxon is being given here in a detailed manner. Next, coming to the catalog. So more or less all these are same. The names of the specimens which we had already identified, which we have already studied, which we have already known, their information is being maintained here. Last but not the least, keys. So keys also form the main taxonomic aid, and different types of keys are there. Okay, and in the keys, what is being maintained? Actually, for every one taxonomic category, take for example family or genus or a species. At every taxonomic level or category, what is being done? Two different statements are maintained together, what is known as two statements together. It is called as a couplet. Each statement is called as a lead. Okay, so that means both the two statements are contradictory to each other. Take for example, when a plant is being taken, a new plant or an already known one. So what do they do at every taxonomic level? Take for example species. So first they try to see morphologically whether the species is already known, or they take for example the morphology, the color. So they try to compare the color with two statements. It's brown, it's orange in color. If it is orange in color, what are all the different animals which are orange in color? Then they proceed to the next couplet. The next couplet can be genus. So whether this genera comes under Panthera, what all organisms come under Panthera, or to what other it belongs to, or to what other genera it belongs to. That means at every taxonomic category or at every taxon level, they make two contradictory statements, and one is being accepted, the other is being rejected. If it is accepted, then they proceed to the next one, to the next detailed information. So that is how they maintain the information detailing about every living organism or a species. That is what is known as a key. Okay. So with this, we come to the end of the chapter. So in diversity in living world, we have studied about the differences between the living organisms and non-living organisms, the basic differences with respect to their metabolic aspects, metabolism and self-consciousness, self-replicating factors which is pertaining or exclusive to living organisms. And we had studied about taxonomy, how to identify a living organism, how to classify it, how to name it. We name it in binomial nomenclature, trinomial nomenclature, tautonymy, and finally we have studied about the taxonomic aids. That means there are different resources which can be given in order to identify, classify a living organism, and how to store the information or how to preserve the specimens as well as the information in a detailed manner. That is what we had finished with the taxonomic aids, with which we have come to the end of the chapter.